Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry we're a couple of minutes late. We just got busy back there, and we're paying attention to the time like we should have. Mr. May, you have the invocation this morning.
Okay. Let us pray. God, we're thankful that we can come together as a group this morning. We're thankful for the privilege of living in the United States of America, that we do have the right to assemble and conduct the business of this county. Father, we are blessed to live in a county that, Father, that you are in the midst of us as we go about our daily task. Father, we are grateful and thankful for the men and women that keep us safe, keep our property safe and us safe on a daily basis. But Father, today I asked a special request that you would intervene into the unsettling conditions that seem to be in our county, our state, and our nation. Father, we know that you can help us come together as a people the way that you would like for us to. I ask for your wisdom that you would give all of us, citizens, elected officials alike, that, Father, that we would be acting a loving and compassionate way as you command us to do in your word. Father, we're thankful for this time that we can come together and serve the people of Wayne County. These things I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
May we stand? Face the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Has everybody had the opportunity to read the minutes and any corrections or any discussion about it? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. And the adjustment agenda, we did have a couple items we added. Is that correct? I'm trying to find where they are.
Yes, sir. Under unfinished business, we have the bond resolution, which would be item number 3, and then item number 4 would be the cabling contract.
Are there any other additions to the agenda? All right, here none. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the agenda as announced?
So moved.
A motion on the floor. Any discussion? Yes, sir. Is that a vote or are you?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to add a question.
I was scratching mosquito.
No, I was looking at John. He went like that. He was just telling me hello this morning.
You were ready to vote.
All right, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That's what John was doing. Thank you. All right, we're past 9:05. We're a little bit late on the public comments, but we'll open up the public comments section. Anyone who'd like to speak, you got 4 minutes to come on up. State your name, your address, and your phone number.
Steve L. Harry, 349 Weaver Road, Goldsboro, NC. Got something I thought the county commissioners may want to know, and right hot off the press, and it's about these shots that they've been advertising. Even the former president we had was pushing for shots. A decade after Judicial Watch exposed the danger of a government-backed cervical cancer vaccine, a federal lawsuit highlights its perilous side effects, including paralysis, seizure, nausea, and death. It was promoted ardently by the Obama administration as a miracle shot that could prevent certain strains of cervical cancer caused by human papillomavirus. This includes thousands
of cases of paralysis, convulsions, blindness, and dozens of deaths. The government has continued promoting the vaccine while covering up the debilitating side effects, recommending it for girls and more frequently for boys, starting at age 9. U.S. law forbids lawsuits against vaccine manufacturers, but Judicial Watch has obtained records from the Department of Health and Human Services. In many states, parents aren't even notified because Gardasil is the name of the medicine. Gardasil falls under the Sexual and Reproductive Health Services, which certain minors can receive without parents' consent. I just thought y'all might want to know. I printed these copies out, and your health department may be aware of it, or it may not be
Just give
aware
it
of it.
to Carol, if you will, Steve.
You have to, if you'll give them to me, I'll pass them out. Thank you.
We don't want to overwork you.
All right. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Ms. Tarrant. Anyone else? Anyone that's care to speak this morning? All right. Public comment is closed. Mr. Gurley. Appointment Committee,
Yes, sir.
after we get this passed down, of course. I'm sorry, we got, you don't want to push your name.
That's all right.
Are we ready now?
We're ready. Yes, sir. Nope. Stop.
Okay. Appointment Committee met this morning. I'd like to recommend the appointment of Lee Haltz to the Wayne County Library Board. I'd like to put that in form of a motion.
Got a motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Next, I'd like to recommend the reappointment of Efton Sager and Dave Metter to the Wayne County ABC Board. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
Have a motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
We'd like to recommend the reappointment of Miles Kelly as the chairman of the Wayne County ABC Board. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
You have a motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
We'd like to recommend the reappointment of Jerome Ellis to the Community Child Fatality Prevention Team. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
We have a motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
I'd like to recommend the reappointment of Nancy Delia to the Wayne County Council on Aging. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
Have a motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
We'd like to recommend the reappointment of Ed Spence to the Eureka Planning Board.
Have a motion on the floor, any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand.
We'd like to recommend the appointment of Martha Bryan to the Commissioners Council on Older Adults. I'll put this in form of a motion.
She taking Peggy Sears over?
Yes.
Motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
I'd like to recommend the reappointment of Geraldine Sherrard to the Wayne County Adult Care Community Advisory Committee. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
We'd like to recommend the reappointments of Paula Edwards, Margaret Davis, Terry Davis, Ethel Barnes, Patricia Byer, Brownie Doss to the Wayne County Commissioner Council for Older Adults. Put this in form of motion.
I have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. You guys are busy this morning.
Yes, and we'd like to recommend the reappointment of Brent Heath to the Goldsboro Wayne Transportation Authority, and I put this in form of motion.
Motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand.
That's it.
Thank you. You got them all. Don't have to make any more for a while, will you?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's move on to the motion to approve the the lowest response bid for the Benchmark Network Solutions, and I think.
Mr. Prepp's here.
How you doing? Just want to go over the fiber loop here to talk real quickly about our findings based on the bids we did receive from the different companies. Off the bat, our Benchmark Networks, the company we are recommending, was the lowest bidder. They also provided a very comprehensive offering on what they could do with the fiber loop, as well as background checks for all our technicians. They stuck directly to the RFP for what we were trying to accomplish. They gave a very detailed breakdown of each segment of the project, which allowed us to forecast the budgeting for that as far as each segment and how we could pay that. And the work that their subcontractor, Data Watts, has done in the past for us has been exemplary with no issues at this time. So we'd like to recommend the Benchmark Networks as the vendor of choice for the fiber loop project.
Are there any questions?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
To the average person out here, you know, when you see $500,000 being spent, I think we would need a little bit more explanation of how far, where you putting this, and why is it necessary?
Okay, right. So on the fiber loop portion of it, what we're doing is we're providing redundancy for the county buildings. In other words, if there are issues or there are failures in that cabling, then we have a path back to our data center, which obviously provides all of our core services for the county. Then also, as a part of that project, because we're having the work done, we're also extending the fiber loop, the actual fiber connection out to the MRAC Convention Center to allow for more bandwidth, a faster connection, more reliable connection. And it's also, as I keep saying, it's future-proofing us in case we have any upgrades that we want to do later on, we can do that.
Is there a portion of this contract that actually is replacing or repairs to existing?
Well, we're extending our current fiber layout now. Where the new jail is, that was a part of an existing fiber connection there. However, it wasn't a loop. So we're taking that, we're lashing to that and extending it to a fiber loop all the way back to our data centers. So we're using some of the pre-existing fiber there and then extending it all the way back around to our data centers and then going out to our MRAC facility.
And you'll also be going by the new 911 center.
Right, and a part of that is also the 911 center. We'll go ahead and lay that fiber down, and once the building's complete, we can come back and do a minimal work to get that installed. That's a good point.
Do you know how many miles, approximately, how many miles of fiber we're actually putting down, or?
5.8?
I think it's 3.5.
3.5 miles of fiber that's going down.
Total.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So this is physical fiber run how?
Yes, sir. It's under the ground.
Under the ground.
99% of it is under the ground. We have some places where railroads and whatnot that we have to go above ground, but 99% of it is underground, which helps us going forward so we don't have any issues with breaks or any issues when we do upgrades.
Does this have any implication for the school system and us, or is it just us?
It's just us, and the thing I really want to stress is the redundancy, the becomes a real issue on the 911 center. We've got to have redundancy on that, and so that's, you know, as we discussed it, we wanted that totally looped, and it will be, because it comes out off of near William Street, comes down, goes around where that is, and then comes back up Wayne Memorial, and ties back into Herman, and then goes out, as he said, to MRAC. So the MRAC part is really like a long finger sticking out, but the rest of it makes it a full loop.
The reason I asked the question, the reason I framed that part of it, asked about the school system, they are, and without me being an expert, it seems like we're all struggling with upgrading the opportunity to use new technology. And in some recent meeting that we had with the school system, they were talking about going more towards, the discussion was going more towards electronics versus textbooks. I don't want to bring in textbooks.
Right, e-readers, whatnot.
But as you look globally around the county, it would be remiss of us not to at least consider any long-range plans that we would do, would ask the right questions on the front end to make sure that we didn't go forward with half of the county, and then half of all the use of this be left back here. And then we discovered that we should have maybe combined something. That's, and without me knowing what it is that you can do,
Well,
I just want to throw that up.
Well, I think the difference there, this is, as you said, this is physical hard fiber. What we're looking at on the schools will be wireless.
All right.
On the broadband system, we're looking at wireless on that.
I'm just going to answer him real quick, then you can go next. Ed, we think that we have found a solution. We really think we have. And we'll be rolling out more information, I think, in very, very near future. I'm really excited about it because I think we found a viable solution for kids with e-books and that kind of thing. Right.
I think you may have just answered my question, but the Wayne Community College, and more specifically, the Advanced Manufacturing Center, that falls under community college, is that right? Mm-hmm. But is there a connection there somewhere that will be between the college and the county? In other words, other than wireless, is it going to be anything what we're talking about here is not involve the college or the Advanced Manufacturing Center at all, is that correct?
We hadn't planned on it. I think they're fine with their fiber.
Okay, that's my question.
They've not indicated any problems with their system.
Okay, I guess my follow-up is to talk to the other entities around us to make, and I think, Ed, that's what you were alluding to make sure that if we do need to fix it or join, we need to do it while they're in here, not on a separate contract somewhere.
Sure.
Okay?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I make a motion we move forward with the bid with Benchmark Network Solutions for the fiber optic loop. You have to put that in the form of a motion.
Yes, sir. We have a motion on the floor for additional discussion. All right. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the distinct pleasure today to introducing on behalf of the Wayne County and the Wayne County Department of Social Services, Mr. Errol Merritt, who is actually starting his third week today. He started last commissioner meeting 2 weeks ago. I couldn't get him in because he was anxious to go to work. So I do want to just say that in the 2 weeks that Mr. Merritt's been here, the changes are already in place. I see things that are already looking to cost savings, all these things that we talked about. But real quickly, I want to say that Mr. Merritt has a Master of Social Work degree from the University of North Carolina. He also has a Bachelor of Arts Psychology degree from East Carolina University. He also, and of course when I first met him, I said, I'm not going to hold this against you. He's from Johnston County, which is great. He was 25 years as the Director of Social Services in Johnston County, along with 13 years in Johnston County at the Mental Health Center. He was the Associate Area Director, along with some other 2 or 3 years and this and that. So he's got a total of about 42 years experience in the Department of Social Services. At this time, I want to make sure that the commissioners know and the public knows that Mr. Earl Merritt is our interim Department of Social Services Director. We're trying to talk him into coming full-time already. Mr. Merritt. Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to do this. The staff over there is awesome. I've been most impressed with them. I've not asked one person to do anything that hadn't done it with a great deal of enthusiasm and a great deal of ingenuity in doing that. So we've got a very good staff over there, and I'm very excited to be here, and hope I can do a good job.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wood, you want to make another introduction at this time?
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and introduce also Mr. James Wade Jr. James is our new Maxwell Regional Agricultural Convention Center Director. I gave you his background 2 weeks ago, but he comes most recently from Owensboro, Kentucky, where he was affiliated with their convention center there, but he has about 24 years of experience. And the best part is he has stood a number of these new facilities up. So he kind of has a checklist of what needs to be done to get this one open. And he and Kevin and I met yesterday for lunch, and he also is off and running and at work. I did want to let you know we've got him temporarily over at the chamber in offices there, and the reason for that is because the tourism folks are located there as well. And as you know, they'll all be moving into the MRAC when that opens. So we wanted to have that good working relationship there. So with that, James, welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate being here. I think this is going to be an amazing project. Once it's open, I think it's going to be a building that a lot of people will get use out of, and it will bring hopefully some financial things into the county from outside. And then also people here in the county will have ways to use it. This will be the 5th building that I've opened, and so hopefully it will just all go well. It sounds like everything is on schedule, which is better than a lot of new buildings. So that's a good thing. Everyone I've met's been very friendly, and just be patient with me as I learn everyone's names. Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
Before you, there's a question that I've been thinking about ever since we talked about opening up the center.
Okay.
Based upon your experience in other places, what are the first 5 things that we have not seen in Wayne County that you're going to bring to the city? I always thought that would be a fair question to ask.
That's a fair question. I mean, I think we'll probably open with some kind of gala, and I haven't talked to George about this yet, but most buildings have some kind of invited gala, and then they have a public opening, so everyone can come in and see the new building, everything that the building can do, and all the different rooms, and basically you have a party that first weekend just to make sure everyone knows what the building is, what it can do, and then after that, we're going to go after both public and private events. You know, some of the money that you make will come from your private events. You have a wedding reception or something in there, a banquet or an awards banquet for an ag group or whatever. We've got to set all of our policies. We don't know yet, you know, what the rental rates will be and who pays what rent and what levels they'll be. So once we decide that, we can go from there.
And on a very serious note, our young people, and when I say that, I mean most everyone under 50, I call that young, they oftentimes in Wayne County complain that there's not anything to attend, so they're getting in their cars going to Raleigh and
exactly
the Research Triangle and on up that way. And
so absolutely, if we can do some research and figure out that we need to have, you know, some kind of public dance party, some kind of, you know, mingle for Christian kids, if we need something for, I mean, there's just a whole line of things that you can do, and it's a matter of figuring out what people in this area want to do. And having just moved here, I don't know that yet, but we'll certainly figure that out and get suggestions from everyone and see where we can go.
I can see the kids sitting on the back bench having a competition out there.
That's right. They'll run their robots.
Yeah. We're going to have, matter of fact, we're taking a tour this afternoon. Are you going to be able to join us?
I will be there, yes.
Okay.
I'm excited to see it. I've only seen the outside, so.
Well, I hadn't. It's been a long time since I've been out there, and some others have been there, and I haven't. I'm jealous, so I want to go. So, thank you, and welcome aboard.
All right, thank you.
Questions? Okay, thank you. All right, consent agenda. We went over that in quite a bit of detail in the briefing session.
You got 2 more.
I'm sorry, did I skip something there?
There's 2 added.
Two added.
I'm sorry, I voted on the other page over here. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Let's go to the financing of the schools. And I got to find my stuff.
Yeah, this is the resolution approving and authorizing the financing of various public school and other improvements for the county of Wayne. And so this is the $42 million bond issue resolution, and we do need to approve this before we can go sell the bonds on June 15th. And I would just add that as part of the bond sale, of course, y'all know we were in New York last Wednesday and Thursday for the bond rating agencies. That meeting went very well. At least that's what Ted Cole tells me, and he does this a lot with his other clients. So we believe we had a very good meeting, and we'll know something about those probably towards the end of next week, early part of the following week. And of course, we'll report that to you as soon as we get those.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve a resolution approving and authorizing the financing of various public school and other improvements for Wayne County, as written by our attorney.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, let's move back to the RFP award for the cabling project, the Macville Agricultural Convention Center.
I'm going to ask Ryan to come up
Get
and
ready
over
to ask him
that
to
with
step up
you.
if he would again.
You can answer the question in the process of your delivery.
Gotcha. This one should be a little just straightforward. This is all of the cabling we're gonna do for the interior of the MRAC building to support that. We had two competitively priced bids that we were looking at. One was kind of priced outside of what we were looking at. But based on the RFP that we put out, two of our companies came back with pretty close as far as pricing. Some of the things we noticed on the vendor of choice was the detail by which they went through and provided the details of the bid, and then also some of the things we asked for in the RFP from a process standpoint, as far as how we terminated cabling, how we laid cable, how we housed cable, those types of things were more in line with what we were asking for in the RFP as opposed to one of our other bidders. Some of the items on the list were not included on the bid that we asked for them to include, that were missing. That added up to a substantial amount of money that we were concerned would drive that price a little higher than we were willing to pay, such as permits, some interior ducts for cabling were not included. Some of the cabling details were different than what we wanted, which would drive the price up a little bit. There were some details that they did not include, and then the parts list that we asked for details were not included as well. So with that said, we decided that based on those two that we went through and looked at that were competitively priced, we felt that Benchmark Networks were the vendor of choice for this project based on those criteria.
I have a just curiosity question. What kind of permit cost?
For the MRAC, any kind of the city and government, county permits that we need for that building to bore into the ground, anything we do with the interior come into that building.
It's considered electrical.
And one other question, any particular reason why Globe did not submit a bid for this project?
No, they were unresponsive after the initial pre-bid. We only received 3 at the end, and one of the other, the A3 Communications was nearly double the price of the other two.
Yeah, they definitely did not want the job.
Well, I can go into details why the price was so high, but yes, it was pretty much off the table once we saw their bid. But the two were, like I said, competitively priced. There was a lot of details that were missing on the other one that was. Benchmark actually was a little bit lower, but in looking at both of them, because they were so competitively priced, we wanted to look really into the details. And there was a number of things missing from it that we were concerned about as far as the processes they were going to go through to implement this project.
And, oh, go ahead.
Quick question, and we are authorized to actually accept someone that's not the low bidder?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing I wanted to mention is, as y'all know, we're going to seat, we can seat almost 1,600 people in the MRAC, and we'll also have Kevin's folks over in the office part. So we've got to have a robust internet system over there. That's why we're taking the fiber project out there, but also this is all the interior wiring in those buildings. But I just wanted to stress, this is more than a normal office building. This is the part for the convention center. We've got to be able to handle an awful lot of stuff.
Yes, we don't want to get, especially with there'll be a lot of wireless connections, so we really have to account for that, and we don't know what it's going to be like yet, so we want to make sure we account for that. So this is an effort to do that.
Because as y'all know, everybody will have at least one device when they walk in the door.
Yeah, well.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve the proposal from Benchmark Networks and authorize that that we approve their bid.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any more discussion? One question, and I meant to ask you this a while ago when you were talking about the loop, because I can remember you showed us a picture at one time and showed that loop and all that. Any problems meeting the timelines to be ready to open up and have it there?
No, as long as utilities cooperate, I think we're good as far as that goes.
Because he's gonna really need it.
Yeah, he is. I think he's obviously a priority getting that done.
Yeah.
But we've ran into some hiccups, but I think all said and done, I said that the timeline is, we have adequate time to
Okay,
implement it.
as long as we go ahead and move forward.
And Ryan and I discussed all of the various deadlines from the get-go. You know, obviously, the first deadline was the jail. Second one really is MRAC, and the third is the 911 system.
Seems like I recall us going over that at one time.
Right.
But yeah, that was my question answered. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
Now let's go to consent agenda. Again, we discussed that at length. Is there any more discussion on that? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Everybody.
I don't know who jumped on that.
Oh, that's fine.
Ed, I think I heard you first. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Okay, going into new business. We'll talk about adopting a proclamation for older Americans in Wayne County. And I believe we had someone here for that, Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing me to come here today to inform you and the public about Older Americans Month. May is Older Americans Month, and this year's theme is Age Out Loud. And with your permission, I'd like to read the proclamation and then have you to accept it. Whereas the older adults in Wayne County are the roots from which our community grows, who bestow gifts of wisdom and insight upon younger generations and strengthen the bonds between neighbors to create a better place to live. And whereas our society can be enhanced by older adults aging peacefully in their communities. And whereas the older adults in Wayne County should be commended for their role in creating and bolstering the fiber of our community and nation. And whereas our community can provide that recognition and respect by enriching the quality of life for older Americans by increasing their opportunities to remain in their communities as active and engaged citizens, providing services, technologies, and support systems that allow seniors to foster and maintain connections within the community, emphasizing the value of elders by publicly recognizing their contributions to the diversity, strength, and unity of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 2017 as Older Americans Month in Wayne County and urges every citizen to take time this month to honor our older adults. Our recognition of older Americans and their involvement in our lives can help us achieve stronger and more meaningful connections to each other and enrich our community's quality of life. Adopted this day, 16th day of May, 2017.
You want me to make the motion?
You can.
Okay. I just want to say this proclamation is very uplifting to me. It really is as an older American. I'd like to make a motion.
All of us.
Yeah. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the Older Americans Month proclamation as presented.
Well, I guess we had enough commissioners on the board to vote. All right, was any discussion? We have a motion on the floor. Oh. All those favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, Paula.
May I also add, in celebration of Older
Sure.
Americans Month, a couple activities that we have this month. We just, last week, started our celebration, kind of kick off with our Goldsboro Day in the Park Fun Day, which was a great time. But tomorrow, on the 17th, we have Lunch with a Cop, and this involves Goldsboro City Police as well as Wayne County Sheriff's Department. And this is just a great opportunity for seniors to connect with our law enforcers and those that protect us on a daily basis. Also, we have on Monday the 22nd, Introduction to Disc Golf, and it's going to be at Sleepy Creek at 9:30, and this is with our Senior Center and Parks and Rec of Goldsboro. And it's just an opportunity to learn how to play that game and learn the rules. Then we have drama team presentation on May the 23rd at 3 o'clock. And then lastly, I have the advocacy luncheon on the 25th at 11:30. And each year we try to give our seniors a chance to talk with you in a relaxed setting. It's very informal. And we invite the commissioners, RAC members, our advisory board, and our senior Tar Heel legislator and alternate. Lunch will be provided by wages. I do ask that people RSVP so that we'll make sure we have enough to serve. But hope to see you there. You have your invitations. And I just want to thank you for your time, for your support of the Senior Center. We're awesome, I want to say, for Wayne County. I'm very proud to represent Wayne County in our Senior Center. And if any of the viewing public would like any information on any of the programs I mentioned, they can call me at 919-705-1785 or Rob Phillips at 919-731-1589. Thank you.
And before you leave, I think Mr. Bell had something to say.
Yes, I'd just like to say, as far as Wayne County is concerned, we does a lot for our seniors.
Yes, sir.
But worldwide, of all the industrialized nations in the world, the United States come in number 15th. So we need to step it up nationwide.
Right. Just Wayne County's number one.
Well, that's right.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We do need to let her know that on the 25th, we have base community council, and so we can't be in but one place, so we won't be at yours because we don't like you, but we got a conflict.
Well, thank you, and thank you for letting me know that. We'll try to do better next time in scheduling.
Yeah,
Well, if you wait to schedule something when we don't have something, you won't never have a meeting.
I won't, okay.
You just move forward with what you're doing.
Okay, thank
If
you.
you want to schedule something, you better get with Carol first because she keeps us so busy we can't keep up with what we're supposed to do.
Well, we gotta, sorry. Thank you, though.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for your time.
Budget time. Okay, next, Kevin, you're up with the 4-H Robotics Club.
Good morning. I'm not here to ask for anything for the MRAC, I promise. No, this is an exciting time for us, and I can tell you that we have Jessica Hogan, our 4-H agent back here, Summer Young, our 4-H program assistant, and we're very excited for our 4-H Robotics Club, and they're going to come up in a minute and present to you some exciting things that's happened with them. And I do want to first, though, thank y'all for your support of Cooperative Extension, especially 4-H. This particular 4-H club, you know, they're housed at Kendall's base, and so they require a lot. They require a lot of space, and we really appreciate what y'all are doing for that and your support. But with that, I do want to introduce Stephen Finch. I think he's going to be our first one to come up and present, and they'll all be coming up to talk to you.
Okay. If whoever's going to talk needs to get to the mic. I'm assuming you were Stephen, that's why I said that.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present to you this morning. We're members of 4-H Robotics. It's a 4-H club and also an FRC team.
Many of you already know, but just to recap, FRC stands for First Robotics Competition. There are now over 6,000 teams worldwide.
What do? We design robots, we build robots, we compete with robots, and we spread STEM in our community.
We would like to tell you a little bit about this year's season. As usual, we started off with a challenge reveal in early January, allowing us 6 weeks until we had to bag our completed robot. The theme this year was Steamworks, and the challenge involved
loading balls to represent fuel in an airship, placing gears on an airship, and preparing for takeoff by climbing a rope.
Our team spent time strategizing and prototyping as a major part of our design process. We did some computer drawings and made some parts in our bot shop.
We assembled and wired the robot and then programmed it.
And of course, testing.
We named it Wally in honor of Mr. Wallace Simmons, our retired 4-H agent.
We chose particular aspects as part of the design, such as mechanical wheels, providing agility and maneuverability. We also chose a static funnel design to receive and place gears. Our climbing arm enabled the rope to be acquired easily and then climb vertically.
Here is a copy of our Wally sheet that we handed to the judges at competition outlining the aspects of the design.
We took the whole team, 25 students, to our 2 district competitions. The team did really well, and
Wally was amazing, breezing through autonomous play.
Wally placed gears with ease and climbed without a hitch. What an amazing experience.
We won almost every match at the Pitt County District competition in early March, placing us in first position at the end of the qualification matches. We captained the first alliance and won every single match in the finals as well. We were thrilled.
We also received the Industrial Design Award, which celebrates the form and function in efficiently designed machine that effectively addressed the game challenge.
Our next district competition was in late March in Raleigh. We played in the quarterfinals as part of the 3rd Alliance. We also received the Entrepreneurship Award. This award celebrates the entrepreneurial spirit by recognizing a team that has developed the framework for a comprehensive business plan to scope, manage, and achieve team objectives. At the end of the weekend, we were ranked 5th out of 59 teams in the state, which qualified us for the state competition.
At the state championship in Buies Creek, we ranked 12th and were moved up to the 8th Alliance and chosen by the 5th Alliance. We played in the quarterfinals. The team also earned the Innovation in Control Award, which celebrates an innovative control system or application of controlled components to provide unique machine functions. We also ended up ranking 9th in the state and qualified for the World Championship.
the 4-day World Championship was held in Houston, Texas, and we took 23 students plus mentors and parents. It took many hours and many dollars to get there, but it was an amazing experience to be among 400 of the best teams from across the world. We met many other 4-H teams and gleaned so much wisdom as we interacted with so many creative minds.
There was an innovative fair, Lego displays, conference speakers, as well as qualification rounds and finals in 6 divisions. We ended up ranking 15th out of 67 teams. We played in the quarterfinals as part of the 8th Alliance.
It was a truly amazing experience. We were also able to watch the winners from each field compete for the overall title of first champions.
We want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the City of Goldsboro and to Wayne County for being so supportive of the team. We want to thank all our sponsors who have been amazing and encouraging. We truly could not have had this opportunity without you.
In closing, we wanted to share some of our plans. We are preparing for new members and working on streamlining our training. We're planning our summer camps and other STEM workshops, and we're planning some FLL workshops and hope to start some more FLL clubs in the county. We're also planning some fundraisers events so that we have enough money to go to Worlds again next year. Are there any questions?
When are you gonna build next?
Depends on the game challenge.
Oh, okay.
Are you all made up of a cross-section of the schools from the county, or are you all from one school, or?
It's just a high school team, so any high schooler is welcome to join.
But I'm talking about your team. Are you all a cross-section of all the counties, all the schools, or are you just from one school?
We're from multiple schools and also homeschoolers as well.
We have 12 schools represented.
12 schools
12
involved?
schools plus homeschoolers.
I need to get a picture of you guys.
Yeah, I've got to say something. It's being a sponsor of this team over the last few years, our little company. I see that the robot made it to Texas in the box. The packing and everything that we had to do, we volunteered to pack this robot to ship it to Texas. We had to really make sure there wasn't any damage to this thing. So I assume it arrived in.
It did.
It did, okay. But I can tell you, this group has captured a lot of people's heart in this county, and we just need more of it. I just thank you for all you do and the volunteers. This is amazing, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best thing that's ever happened to this county and to this state in the last 25 years is the STEM program that has been implemented in our schools. And I truly believe that. So thank you for all you do, and we're gonna sponsor you again this coming year. So if we can help you, let us know. Let's give them a hand.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I mean, this,
finish up first.
this
We'll
is
come
our
back in just a
future.
second.
This is our future. You know, all of us, we've about done what we can do. But y'all are the future leaders of this county, this state, and this nation, and we really appreciate what y'all are doing.
Thank you so much. Anybody else before we step down? All right, let's step down and have a picture taken.
No, I think I'm just going to, I'm gonna have to bypass you guys.
If you guys.
Mr. Bell needs
I'm gonna stand up.
We need to work on our robotic wheelchair.
Yeah, just kind of mingle in there with them if you can. They really don't bite. I
They don't.
feel.
They get mad at me, but that's okay. No, we get mad at each other. We just have a discussion.
All right, on the count of 3, and we'll take a couple of 1,
You want us to
2.
smile?
Yes.
Cheese. Robot.
Smile again, robots. Winners. World champions next year. There you go.
They're right, champions this year.
Great job, guys.
Everybody get it?
Great job. Congratulations. Make you proud. Good job. Very good. Very nice. Very proud. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. That's very good. Well, let me get back. Program. Thank you. Good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you. You got it in my left. Can't walk slow. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's have some follow-up.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of follow-up. One thing that they didn't tell you about was some of the expenses of this. Just to enter a competition is several $1,000s. Of course, they had to travel to Houston, and I'm just letting you know that it was a tremendous expense. I couldn't even imagine to tell you a number that probably cost them $15,000, maybe even $20 this year, Jessica.
We were looking at their overall income from the last 3 years, and they've almost doubled their income this year. And by say income, I mean their sponsors, they had to go to nationals and to go to all 3 competitions here in the state. So they've almost doubled their income for that part, not only of what they've spent. And this is not just their expense to build the robot. So for each competition, I think it's close to $4,000 or $5,000 for them just to go to the competition, not just to build the robot. So the kids do a tremendous amount of work for fundraising, and they're always trying to think of creative ideas to raise more funds themselves, from everything from GoFundMe to bake sales. So I think they've truly worked hard for every penny that they've gotten this year. So.
They have, and they've got corporate sponsors. You know, you saw the Mount Olive sticker on there, and Mr. Ray's support them. So they have support, and I'm just letting you know that it does cost a lot. And I did want y'all to know this is a 4-H club. And I know a lot of y'all were probably like me, you grew up, 4-H was a lot. You thought of agriculture and livestock, but 4-H has really diversified itself. And, you know, we do have a variety of clubs. We participate in schools, but this is one of those exciting new STEM clubs that we're excited about. So, thank you very much.
I have a question.
Go ahead. I'm going to ask a question too.
Are you able to cover your expenses thus far, or we need to step it up? What do we need to do?
It may be further with Ann. She's the club leader, and I think that this year they're fine, but you know they're still preparing for next year to go ahead and get those expenses up, because while they didn't know they were going to Worlds when they did so well at the first competition, so they were kind of scrambling to get more funds to come in, but they're more prepared for what it's going to cost, and their overall budget is going to go up this year. So I think that if she will, at the end when they are done getting all the grants come in from this year, then she can probably let you know a little bit more about their needs for next year's competition.
But we do have a budget item for that in your budget, is that right?
Well, we can utilize some of our funds.
Okay, but it's not set aside for, it's all inclusive in a budget line?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And of course, the biggest thing y'all do to help us is you let us use the facilities, the building over there, and the cooperation we have with Kendall and facilities is wonderful.
Those competitions, when they take place, like, you know, like the world and the state, do they sell tickets to those things? Or are they all just free?
I think it's free. The admission's free to go in those.
Well, you could sell tickets as just a donation.
Yeah. And something that is
just trying to think of a way to get some dollars.
To let you know just how difficult it is, we were probably the only 4-H club. It was the only 4-H affiliated club from North Carolina that went to the Worlds.
There are 3 other 4-H robotics clubs, 3 all total, ours and 2 others across the state, and we're the only one that went to Worlds.
So a lot of these, like the School of Math and Science has a team. So you got to think it's a bunch of schools and different other groups. So to have a 4-H group doing this is really amazing.
Yeah.
So
great.
Thank you very much.
Well, I heard you say you had 12 schools. Are any of them, is it just high school or middle school? Are there any middle schools involved in it?
There's different levels that the robotics club deals with. So they have like a recruiting team, a recruiting club, and that's where they get younger kids and they start them out doing like Lego projects. And we have several of those implemented across the county. We have them in our after-school programs as well as some other elementary schools. And then they move up. It's first Lego League and then first Lego League Junior. And then they go into the actual building the robots and being on the robotics team.
Yeah, you heard them say FLA a while ago. That's the first Lego League. So they're trying to recruit more people in the elementary age groups. And we've got, of course, 4-H is scattered in all the schools and a lot of people participate. So we're trying to recruit for the future.
And then they get awards at each competition. Every time they grow or every time they get another recruiting team, that's like another step up. So they are able to get awards in that way too at the robotics competition they attend.
Just finally, my point is that I've become so involved with this group is that I don't want to see a missed opportunity because of funding. If you need something, you come and we'll go out and get other companies involved. There's some huge industries in this county that are in the manufacturing sector like we are. And we can make those contacts to get some more funding. Don't miss an opportunity, is what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for y'all's support.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the purchase of the hydraulic boom rotary mower.
If anybody have any questions on that, Kendall's here if you have any questions on it. I think we went over it.
It was pretty detailed.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
We've got a motion on the floor to approve. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Great job, Ken.
No
Okay,
questions.
who made that motion? Because I was trying to get, thank you.
It was Joe. All right, let's get into
The only thing I was told, Mr. Chairman, is that this hydraulic boom rotary mower will reach out and touch you. Is that right, Ken? Okay.
If I can get to the right page here. Let's see. here.
37.
37, thank you. This is the motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the chairman and clerk to the Board of Commissioners to execute an agreement with North Carolina Department of Transportation Division of Aviation for a grant of $113,850 for the corporate hangar area expansion project and the 10% match of $12,650 from Eastern Region funds and appropriate budget amendment.
Right. And this is for the design. We'll be coming back later with we're going after a grant, for the actual construction. But this is for the design and the bidding out of the work.
And I read it also, you wouldn't have to say it again in your motion, whoever wants to make that.
Right. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I make the motion that we adopt the resolution authorizing the chairman and clerk to the board to execute an agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation Division of Aviation for a grant of $113,850 for the corporate hangar area expansion project and the 10% match, $12,650 from the Eastern Region funds and appropriate budget amendment, and add to this ASAP.
Yeah, that's right.
That's very good, in the budget amendment. I have a motion on the floor. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's approved. Okay, motion to approve the funding application for the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. Talk about that as well in the briefing. Anybody wanted to make that motion, or we got discussion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Bell. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, then we'll move to the motion to approve a public hearing on June the 6th to receive public comments regarding the FY 2018 budget. And we discussed that at length as well. Does anybody want to make that motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Cromartie, the motion on the floor. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those raise your right hand. Thank you. County manager comments.
In the interest of time, I'll keep this short. Of course, obviously, this week, we're putting a big push on to finish the budget. We should be through tomorrow. We will be through tomorrow, no matter what. And we've got to then have enough days to get it to the printer, and we'll have it ready for you next Tuesday on the 23rd to go over. So we're ready to go. We'll have the budget and the capital improvements program for you. And as I said earlier, we'll have Dr. Dunsmore come in first, and he will give you the school's local budget as well, and answer give you some of the information you had requested earlier when we had our joint meeting.
We can move right on to the Board of Commissioners comments, and we'll start with Mr. Dollar today.
You are.
Yeah, first up.
I suppose the only thing I want to mention is yesterday I'm scanning through on Facebook, and all of a sudden I'm seeing on my phone the city council having a meeting live. It was live. And I just want to make sure that we ought to be able to offer something very similar to that. And I'm hoping that, I see Ms. Tracy's back here in the back, and I'm hoping that we'll make some effort to do that, because if the city council of Goldsboro can do it, we ought to be able to do it.
Don't we do that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I was going to ask, when I did the chairman's corner last Thursday, we did it live on Facebook.
Good.
Great. First time we've done it.
Well, we did.
Mr. Carter.
In the interest of time, I'll yield to the next commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
That's a big yield.
Mr. Mayor.
The only thing I'd like to highlight is that, on the 4th of May was National Day of Prayer. And I actually went up to the Fremont Missionary Baptist Church to their, and of course Mr. Craig Honeycutt was up there. We've reached a time, as I said in my invocation this morning, I think we've reached a time in this nation that we need to look to a higher power to help us solve our problem. We've actually proven as human beings for centuries that we can't solve anything. So I was honored to be a part of the National Day of Prayer, and no matter how things get, I have to remember, God is still in control, whether we believe it or not. He's still in control. I'm urging all of us to look to the principles of the Bible for our guidance. And that's all I have to say, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Bell.
I'm not going to give any details, but I did attend 3 committee meetings, wages, juvenile justice, and Latino council, just since our last meeting. I'm like Mr. Cromartie, I'll bring you up to date the next time.
Thank you. Mr. Redcott.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I attended the National Day of Prayer service out at Faith Church. I do appreciate Mr. Mayo going to Fremont, and probably next year there's some other churches and groups that has a service, and we may need to look at kind of spreading ourselves around and represent everyone. Also enjoyed the employee luncheon. Appreciate all the employees of the county for what you do, your sacrifices that you make for us. Y'all are what makes us look good, and I really appreciate what the county employees do. Also attended 3 graduations out at the college, and I'm still, the more I get involved with the college, the more I'm amazed on what's going on out there. It's phenomenal what some of those young people do, and the instructors and the staff. And I just want to commend Dr. Walker on what a fine job he has done in less than a year in getting some things turning around at the college. But they had enough graduates this year that they had to, the regular ceremony, they had to break it out into 2 because it just, as of this year, we don't have a place large enough, but maybe next year we might be in a better position. And that's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Curley.
I also attended National Day of Prayer at Faith Freehold Baptist, and I was give those gentlemen credit. They got down to a science to get you in at 12 and get you out at 1, so they don't mess around. They did have a couple of young students there that performed an awesome job. And lastly, I'm asked Mr. Wood, since you've got the budget behind you, you're starting to have some free time. If you ask the staff to please get back on that Beaver Dam project on Ferry Bridge Road. The river's starting to go down a little, and if we're going to have a dry season, it's now, and let's do it before the hurricane season gets here.
You're saying the drag?
The beaver dams.
Yeah, the beaver dams and getting the dragging done.
Yes.
Yeah, we're moving forward with that.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I've got something whenever you get through.
Oh, good, you go ahead. Okay, Mr. Russell.
I was going to ask
I'll come back to it.
Mr. George, I think you may have got the email, the inquiry as to where the Canterbury Village and
I think we should have the bids at June meeting.
At the June meeting? Okay. Thank you for that, because we've got some emails asking where that was at.
Right. And I talked to Steve this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bell, you have something else, sir?
Yes, I was going to ask Mr. Wood, did we ever come up with any guidelines? I won't say the Fat Boys program like I said before. The wellness program. Did we ever decide how?
Well, they're working on it now.
Oh, okay.
The contract should be finished this week. I think Mr. Parker has reviewed it, so we should start that hopefully either this week or next week.
I attended the Day of Prayer out at Faith as well, and enjoyed that. Of course, I've been to the Alliance meetings, WCDA, been, a couple of meetings there. But probably and I mentioned this earlier, one of the biggest things that I think I attended was we met with the open broadband, myself and this Joe and George and Chip. Not, we didn't meet with them, we had a conference call. And it is in the model that, Ray, you and I saw in Louisiana. It's exactly what we saw in Louisiana. And it's very affordable, and we're in discussions with them now because I think we still have a couple more we need to talk to, but I really believe that they're the model that we need to solve our issues for schools, small business in rural communities, farming. And one of the questions I asked, I said that even at the slowest broadband speed, can you download an ebook? And they said, absolutely. And, the other question we were asking, well, you had to buy the equipment. I think they said they would also consider a lease for those who couldn't afford the money up front. So we're looking at, sort of this is an idea right now, looking at a smaller area to try it out, to see how it does, and make sure they're going to be able to make money. And but we still have to entertain a couple more. But I really believe, as long as it's taken, I told them, if you can hammer on an egg long enough, you can finally crack the shell. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. But I was glad to finally see something that I really thought worked. And you got any comments on that?
No, I'm as excited as you to see finally something starting to materialize.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to chime in and say, thank you for your steadfast, your tenacity. You kept this on the agenda.
Well, I worry Chip and him enough. Chip really did the work. I would give him the credit for it.
Well, that's good. I mean, you kept it on the front burner. I would also like to, because Mr. Mayo mentioned it twice in his prayer this morning, and then once again he reinforced the fact that as a county and a state and a nation, we need to be more aware that we don't control the last word. And I hope we exercise that as county commissioners, but I hope at the state level and the federal level, people start to think about that just a little bit more and don't be making these, what I call clandestine kind of decisions that I think they're playing with our future as an earth, not just as a nation. I think they're playing with our future as an earth.
All right, and just to mention one thing, myself and Wayne was there, and so was board, and we went to Judge Bland's first court of jail meeting, and I thought it was a good meeting. It was a little bit more open discussion than I've seen in the past. But that's all I have. Is any more business coming before this board today? If not, we're going to be recessing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, until when?
The 23rd.
23rd. Okay.
This has been a presentation by Wayne Goldsboro Television of the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. Wayne County Commissioners meet the first and third Tuesday of each month in the Commissioners' Meeting Room on the 4th floor of the Wayne County Courthouse at 224 East Walnut Street in Goldsboro, North Carolina. For more information, the County of Wayne is online at www.waynegov.com. The mailing address is Post Office Box 227, Goldsboro, North Carolina 27533. Thank you for watching.